We are back with yet another Operation Protect the White Boy, where today we will be talking about a man out of Washington, I believe that's the state, not District of Columbia, whose name is Murray Forcheimer, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his last name, who was arrested for domestic violence. Now, this man was beating his pregnant girlfriend, like badly beating her while she's pregnant with their child. And here's where the Operation Protect the White Boy comes in. The cops get there and they show up, and then he starts beating on them. Then they arrest him and they take him in and they take his mugshot, and that's his mugshot. As you can see, just by the facial expression alone, he looks like he's proud of what he did to both his girlfriend and to the cops. And the fact that he knows his privilege in society, he knows that he was not going to be touched completely. They may have tased him or roughed him up a little bit, but not enough, because his face looks very clean to me. A Washington man was arrested on multiple charges early Sunday after police came to his home in response to a report of a domestic assault. Shortly after 3 a.m. Sunday, police were dispatched to an apartment in the 400 block of Oak Street in response to a report that resident, later identified as Murray Forcheimer, was beating his girlfriend. Upon arriving, police made contact with the victim, who said she was pregnant with Forcheimer's child and that they had agreed that if they were going to stay together, Forcheimer would stop drinking, according to charging documents. The victim said she became upset that Forcheimer broke the agreement, which caused Forcheimer to become belligerently angry. Murray allegedly began slamming and throwing things around the apartment, and the victim told police she feared for her safety, adding that Murray had held a gun to her head during a previous incident. So this guy definitely has some serious issues, and it seems to be linked to his ongoing alcoholic problem. According to court documents, while police were at the apartment, a struggle ensued, which Forcheimer kicked at officers, including kicking one in the head. Now, you know what they love to say about us. Stop resisting, just comply. Again, whenever they tell us that stop resisting and just comply stuff, all you got to do is look at these stories like this, and now you can tackle on what the south of the border is doing, especially after what recently happened in New York with all of them jumping that cop up there. They can no longer try to use that on us, because now when they do that, we know that that's a pinpoint to target and only talk about black people. But honestly, even if you eliminated this, we already know that was for us anyway. But now, because we're seeing more stories like these pop up, and now with the not so secret invasioners being able to get away with the stuff that they're doing, and I told people it was going to escalate. Now, whenever they do the comply and stop resisting thing, and they only target it to us, then we now can say for certain that they mean that just specifically for black people, and we have the definitive proof. After getting Murray under control and custody and into a holding cell at the Washington Police Department, he once again allegedly began struggling and fighting with officers when they were attempting to remove his handcuffs, and threatened to stick one of them, which the officer took to mean Forcheimer intended to stab him with the loose handcuff. Forcheimer, who was previously convicted of resisting arrest, there it is, in July of last year, is now facing felony charges of third-degree assault and first-degree property damage, as well as misdemeanor charges of resisting arrest, they mentioned it again, in fourth-degree domestic assault. He is being held at the Franklin County Adult Detention Center in lieu of a $250,000 bond. And by the way, this story came out on January 24th, 2024. So he even has charges of resisting arrest multiple times, or resisting and resisting arrest. Either way is resisting, as two of his charges, and he was still taken alive. This man was beating on his girlfriend, who was pregnant with their child. He resisted arrest multiple times. He assaulted the cops multiple times. He tried to allegedly stab one of them with the loose handcuffs while he was there, and he has stemming charges from incidents dating back to last year. And as you can see, he's still breathing. Had this been a black man and this happened last year, he probably wouldn't be here today. But see, I keep telling people, they know of the privilege that they have in this establishment. The proof is there. All the ones who want to try to deny it and say that the privilege isn't real is not. And I remember at that one time when they kept trying to say white privilege just has to be because you have to have money. No, it has nothing to do with money. I mean, look at this guy. Does it look like he's sitting on millions of dollars? Not saying that he isn't, but let's just be real here. Does he look like he's sitting on millions of dollars right now? Especially since they said he has a $250,000 bond that hasn't been paid yet. At 25%, that's $25,000. And he's been in jail since like a couple weeks ago. And apparently he's most likely still there. If he had that kind of money, he would have been able to pay it himself. But like I said, white privilege has nothing to do with your finances. It's literally has everything with your skin color. It's not called financial privilege. Otherwise, that can spread out to multiple people. It's called white privilege, but leave it to them to be the natural spin artists that they are and try to say, oh, white privilege has to do with money. No, it does not have anything to do with money and finances. It'll help, in the long run, maybe, but that's not the sole reason at all. And they know that, but they try to make it seem like we dumb.